all day and stay up all night. I'm living my dream.
You got to hit rock bottom before you can rise. You got to die before you can be resurrected. Embrace being a loser, because when you do, then at that point, you have nothing to lose. My name is Brandon Fogel. This is Evolution. Let's dive into it. All right, so there's a lot of news happening right now, but I wanted to start it off with embracing who you are, because who you are is not necessarily meant for everyone. And until you forget about how everyone looks at you, you won't really be free. You're only going to be confined in a box in your own mind. You're going to be controlled by how others view you and how you perceive that others view you. Who gives a crap? Who cares? Who cares? Why would we care about anything? There's only one opinion that matters. And you might think I'm going to say it's your own opinion about yourself. No, the only opinion that matters at all is God's. God's opinion on you, that's the only thing that matters. Who cares what other people think? Throw it out the window. Don't live in this prison of your own mind. And I'm not talking everyone out there, because a lot of people out in this world are, it's all about image. It's all about self-confidence. It's all about building yourself up and just so you can make it through each day sometimes. Or everything is circumstances, everything in life is what controls you. You're a prisoner, even though you might not literally be in a prison, you are a prisoner of your circumstances. You're a prisoner of whatever's thrown into your lap each day, as opposed to living in freedom. Not thinking that I got to get to that point and then I will have happiness and then I will have success and then I will have meaning to life. But every day is a journey. And embrace the journey. The journey is all that matters. You don't have to reach the end of the rainbow and then I'll have happiness. It's the pursuit of happiness. The pursuit. And that's why every moment can be joy. Every moment can be meaningful. Every moment can be awesome, as opposed to just, well, what I got to get through today so I can get home so I can watch some Netflix. What do I got to get through today so I can go home and throw back a few? What do I got to get through today so that I can have some happiness with whatever it is I have put in my mind for that moment in time? Because it's always changing. Everything's always fluctuating. Life is meaningless until you find the one meaning. You got to find the one meaning first. There is one meaning out there. There is one meaning out there for everyone. And you got to find it. You got to find it. But if your head is on a swivel and you're just looking in all different directions and you're not finding it, it might be because you're not looking for it. And you're just drowning in your own circumstances, drowning in the waves of life that hit everyone. And everybody's living in their own world. Everyone is living in their own world, experiencing what they perceive as their own reality. And there's a lot to that, What you perceive and what you are going through is the reality you have. You don't know what anyone else thinks. You're not inside their heads. You can't get anyone else's intentions, though you might try to get everyone else's intentions on anything. And all you can do is look at everyone's actions, the actions of this world. And you got to live within your own head. Don't get outside of your own head and embrace the journey that you are experiencing in your own head. There's joy. There is definitely joy, and you got to find it. You got to find it. You got to seek it. You got to seek it out. It's lost treasure, because you can throw this to the side and say, oh, that's a lunatic talking. I got stuff to do. I got bills to pay. I got money to make. I got to create something in my life that is going to have real significance, as opposed to there is significance already out there. It's just, you got to grasp it. And you're not going to find it by just toying around and by just stumbling through life. All right, so I say all that to say, because I've gotten to the point where, and I might not be talking to everyone. You know, I'm not talking to everyone. I'm talking to you. I'm talking to you. Have you thrown away the chains in your life? Have you thrown away the thought that everybody else's opinion matters? Or are you entangled in that? Do you feel like a loser? Do you feel like a winner? I've went back and forth like, do I need to build myself up? Do I need to make myself, I am a winner. I'm going to achieve. I'm going to do great things. As opposed to, heck yeah, I'm a loser. Whatever. I'm a loser. And because when you hit rock bottom, you got nothing to lose. You have nothing to lose. There's nothing more to lose. You have peace. Because, and that's the only point you can do. You can only rise unless you hit that bottom, you know? And everybody's bottom is different. Everybody's rock bottom is different. But I would encourage you, if you haven't, because you might not be there yet. Everybody is in their own season. Things might be going great. Things might be going terrible. But what I'm trying to get across is it doesn't matter the circumstances. It doesn't matter how big our bank account is. It doesn't matter if everyone out there that we love loves us. All that matters is the one opinion that matters is God's. That's all that matters. And then you can have freedom in that. You can have freedom in that, you know? All right, so we're gonna switch gears a little bit. We're gonna change over to, if you have not heard, there's a lot of news happening, as there always is. You know, that's why it's called the news. It's new every day. And the news I'm talking about is the dismantling of the Department of Education was enacted by President Trump, signed an executive order yesterday. What's that gonna mean for everyone? And I know, because I mean, anybody can see this. Anybody can see this show right now, and across the world. And this might not matter to anyone outside of the continental United States. But in the United States, this is what I grew up with. You know, the Department of Education was all we ever knew. You know, and there were good intentions when enacting it and putting it into place. And everybody has their own opinion, you know? Do you think the school system that we have built up, that we have created, is it a good thing for our young people? Because I remember, like, years ago, there was a book called, you know, it's all about dumbing us down, you know? And it's just, the education's all about teaching kids to be, you know, robots, and to obey, to, when the bell rings, you go to the next class. And I mean, it is in a sense become just a daycare. It's become a daycare in a lot of ways. And maybe to keep kids off the street, you know, so they're all not up to no good. But I mean, I just think we lose a lot of freedom of choice in the educational system with the way that it is now. There's not, from the ground up, with what people want to where they want to send their kids, and just the governmental waste that is in it. But there are a lot of good things. You can't throw out everything, because with charities and all that, with organizations wanting to have charities and take care of good things, a lot of times the government is the one who has to step in. You know, so I understand that. I'm not a person that is just throw out all the government. We need government. We need limited government. We definitely need limited government. And when the government, because that is like, when you think of churches, they'll get that tax exemption. They'll get that whatever 501c blah 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 whatever. So, but then it's like the government has got a hand on you. The government has got paws on you. That, yeah, we're going to give you an exemption. We're not going to make you pay taxes or something. But then you step out of line, maybe you go against the current culture of the day, and you say something that is biblical and something that aligns with the Bible and is not the accepted norm. The government might step in, those who are in power that are not in line with what God has laid out. They might lose power. They might lose the ability to have that money, because it's like everything comes with strings attached. Everything comes with strings attached. I mean, it's the same thing with the Department of Education. When we allow the government to do everything and they're controlling everything, as opposed to from the ground roots, let the people decide where I want to send our kids, what I want them to be learning. Bring it back to the states. Let localities have a say in how they want their kids being raised and what they want them being taught, because there's so many things in school. It's like, we really got to rethink this. Like, why are we teaching some of the things that we're teaching? And it's not to say at all about the teachers, because they're wonderful teachers out there. But let's change, like, maybe what we're teaching. What is valuable? Does everyone need to know the elemental chart, which everyone forgets after they leave that class? As opposed to just general principles, and really think when somebody goes out into the real world, because a lot of times people go out into the real world because you just got to go to school so you can go to school and go to school and go to school and get a degree. It's definitely still good things, but it's like, does everyone have to be going the same lockstep way? So I think we should. This is a good thing for us going into maybe a different direction. The pendulum's always going to swing. I always say that. It's always going to swing back and forth. So don't overstep. But I think Trump is doing a great thing by dismantling something we know is wrong. Let's rebuild it. Let's rebuild it. That's not to say that all schools lose funding. It's not to say that all teachers lose their jobs, because teachers are wonderful, absolutely wonderful. But people can get set in their ways, and people can get where they are untouchable. They feel untouchable, and they are going to drive home their agenda, as opposed to in whatever area you're in. You say you're in LA, you're in California, do your things your way. Say you're in Kansas City, do your things your way. What you think is right. What the people at that locality have decided on is the direction and things we should be teaching our kids. Things that let's just not have a government overreach that everything is controlled, from the top down, but rather from the bottom up. It's not to say remove all funding, and I don't think that this is going to do that. This is not going to do that, People will not allow it to do that. But it's something that is major changes are happening. Major changes are happening, and can we rebuild? It's from the ashes up. From the ashes up. Everything can be great. We have the potentiality to make things great in whatever we're doing. So there's a personal element to this, because for you, are you finding joy in life? Are you finding significance and purpose? I would say definitely you have to die before you can be resurrected. And this Department of Education, it's got to die before it can be resurrected into something that is great. And it will be something that is great. I know it will. The way that we are going to change the direction of how we are educating kids, Education's a great thing. Indoctrination is not a great thing. Let people learn what is going to be useful and valuable to them. We are United States, Americans, we are sovereigns of our nation. We do not have a king ruling over us. We do not have a king ruling over us. We are the sovereigns of this nation. We are the ones that control the government. We are the bosses of those politicians. We are the bosses. They are not the bosses over us. We got to flip that. They are not this oligarchy that is up there that is controlling us, but we are in power. We are in power. And they should do what we tell them to do. It starts with a mindset, but overall, unless we do rash things, unless we do things that are meaningful, things that are going to change how things have been done for years, because it's been done this way for years. The Department of Education, and this goes for all of government. We got to cut things so that we can rebuild them, so that we can make them great. I think that education in our country, there's good things about it, there's bad, there's good and bad in everything. Let's try to remove the bad and decide together wherever we're at, not overall as a country, because people that are in different parts of the country, different states, that's why every state is its own sovereign. There has to be I understand there has to be the federal government over everything that keeps us together. We don't need Texas drifting and departing from the nation. We don't want that. We got to keep us together. I understand that. But each state is its own sovereign, and it can decide how it wants its state run. If there's every state is an experiment, and let the best experiment win. Whatever is going right, that's why people flee certain states and go to others. So let's not lock everyone in and say you have to do everything this way. Let's change it. Let's change our mind. But overall, I mean, it starts personally. It starts with you. How you feel about life. How you feel about your day. How you feel about going into everything that you're going into. Do you have purpose and meaning? I say embrace being a loser. Embrace it. When you are a loser, you have nothing to lose. And then you can truly win. Everything is if we had eyes to see that everything is upside down in this world, and when we're flipping it right side up, God's going to make everything right in the end. He's going to make everything right in the end. So know that you have a calling, you have purpose in life, and you can embrace being a loser. You can rise from the ashes. You be resurrected every day. Live the journey in your own mind and have peace and joy through it. Have joy through it. That's the only way you're going to get joy. So keep going and keep evolving to the best version of you.
Yeah,